Wow. What a finish to that game. Tom Brady. He is the GOAT. Even if he struggled for a majority of that game, Tom Brady's the GOAT. That was unbelievable. That was a great finish. Rachaad White catching a touchdown. Mike Evans was awful. A lot to be desired from a fantasy football perspective. I mean, that game was dreadful for the majority of the time from a fantasy football perspective. Alvin Kamara, even just everybody but Rachaad White at the end and Tom Brady. But what a phenomenal finish. What a nice ending to a football game. Just a whole lot to be desired from a fantasy football perspective. Let's break it all down. The Fantasy Football Show, it begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Crazy game for sure. That's for sure. Tom Brady marching down the field. Phenomenal performance at the end there for Tom Brady. Very, very exciting game. Just a lot of downers from a fantasy football perspective. Mike Evans, I don't know what's going on with Mike Evans. I don't know what's going on between Mike Evans and Tom Brady. I don't know what's going on, period, for Mike Evans. Totally talented guy. One of the top 10 talent in terms of wide receiver, but definitely something going on there. I don't know if he got hurt. I don't know what was going on. He was in there at the end of the game. Tom Brady wasn't even looking his direction, which was really odd and strange. But what an amazing. I'm sorry, we got this. Let's put this back up. Boom. What an amazing finish for Tom Brady in that contest, though. Let's go to the chat and see what everybody's saying here in the chat. David first in the building. Appreciate you, David. What's up, Kilpatrick? What's going on, Pyron? What's going on, everybody? Tom Brady is him. That's right, Mario. Regardless of a bad, slow start, Tom Brady absolutely balled at the end of that game, showing why he's the GOAT. And, it's going to be, wouldn't it be crazy? Just think about for a second if Tom Brady ended up winning a Super Bowl. Like, let's not pretend like it's not possible. I know it's not likely for the most part, but let's not pretend like it's not possible. As soon as he gets in the playoffs, this team's talented enough. The defense is good enough. There's enough weapons on this offense between Rachaad White and Leonard Fournette, whichever one they need to use. Obviously, Fournette looked good at times. Rachaad White looked good at times. They have two good running backs from a football perspective. If you take fantasy out of it, they're two good running backs that they can utilize. And if Mike Evans does get back on track, if Tom Brady can be good for 4 straight quarters instead of doing what he did at the end of the game, this team could beat anybody at any given moment on any given, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Monday, occasional other day, Thursday. This is crazy. This is a crazy performance, but this team's gonna clinch. What did they? What's the record? Let's see. Let's pull this up real quick. So Bucks are gonna go to 7-6. Saints obviously get an L here. Go to 10 losses. Yeah, this is gonna be a cakewalk for Tom Brady. As soon as he gets into the playoffs, he goes into playoff mode. Who knows what could happen? Tom Brady winning a Super Bowl would not be that unfitting. It would be absolute madness. I don't have them as a Super Bowl winner, but it's a cakewalk for them to win the division. So crazy, absolutely crazy. Saints screwed me hard, says Jack. Saw a flash of vintage Julio for one catch. Tron Force celebrates 2 months on the YouTube exclusive membership. Tron Force
to the moon.
At a baby Tron. What a day! What a nice little surprise ending that we got. That was a fun ending, but man, disaster. In terms of a lot of other fantasy football producers. Let's go to this game and break it down. Get to the box score. I can't use NFL.com. They don't include rookies. I don't know why they haven't changed it. Does anybody know why NFL.com does not include rookies in their box scores? All the rookies are just not there. And they don't fix it. No one fixes it. No one's thought to fix it. Rachaad White. Let's put. I'll put Tampa Bay on screen first, and then we'll put the Saints on screen. So This is the Tampa Bay line right here. We'll break down the Saints scores. Tom Brady, decent day at the end of it. 282, 2 touchdowns, 1 INT. Fournette, 49 yards rushing. Rachaad White, 28 yards rushing. Godwin, 8 for 63. Mike Evans, 4 for 59. Could have been worse for Mike Evans owners if you're in PPR. I mean, at least you got close to 10 points there. Rachaad White ended up salvaging the day, obviously, with the touchdown at 6 for 41. Did very well in PPR scoring. So Rachaad White, nice little outing. The question is, will we worry about him going forward as a locked and loaded starter because of the time share, the divide? Like I said before the game, it feels very much like it could be Tony Pollard and Zeke. If you remember last week, not this week we just played, but the week before in week number 12, Pollard had more carries than Zeke Elliott, and he did far less in terms of the box score. He had a very, very bad game in week 12, Tony Pollard. But he got more work, and Zeke produced. Then in week 13, Pollard gets less work than Zeke sum total and produces 91 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. So, it's that's going to be the feel going forward, I think, for this backfield. When you have a situation where you're giving, let's say Rachaad gets 10 to 12 carries per game, the 6 for 41 and a touchdown via the air is what's saving you. Like I said before the game started, even though Fournette did catch 6 passes himself for 32 yards, White does feel like the pass catcher of the two. If they've got to decide, like end of game, who caught the winning touchdown, Rachaad White. But they will throw to Lenny, like when Lenny's on the field. But I think the game plan is when they know they're throwing the football to the running back, they do want Rachaad White in there. And so I think that protects Rachaad White into at least 50 to 60% of the total volume, pretty much, I would say, going into the week. That's the plan of attack, because White will command more of the receiving work, even though Leonard did catch the same amount of passes in this one. And so he's safe. He's a safe flex, but if he's not efficient, he won't score a ton because he's not going to get more than 10, 11, 12 carries. Same thing with Pollard. Pollard's going to get you 10, 11, 12 carries. If he's ultra efficient, he explodes. If he's not, he's going to disappoint. It kind of stinks that we gotta look at him that way. Pollard is a must start in the flex spot, but he does have that volume concern, as does White, as does Fournette, as does Zeke Elliott if you own any one of those 4 players. And if you own the duo, you can't start both of them. You're going to start one or the other. In the case of this backfield, you would definitely start Rachaad White over Fournette, but Fournette could outperform him on 1 week and then not rotate, but like 1 out of every 3 weeks, Fournette could outscore Rachaad White just because they're dividing up the workload. And Kamara is just, Kamara's awful right now. It's putrid. It's disgusting. And it's hard to say what fantasy owners should do moving forward, because the moment you bench him, he's going to have a big game. You know that, but maybe we need a few of you to bench him so that the rest of us could have Kamara bounce back. I don't really own Kamara, to be honest, in a lot. I maybe own him in like maybe 1 league out of like 20, because this was a guy that I avoided, and I was a big stay away from Kamara guy at the beginning of the season because he costed too much. His even though his off the field issues haven't spilled in, that was one of the main reasons I did avoid him. And that could be distraction, mental, all that stuff is all encompassing. But Kamara, 2 catches for 11, right here, 2 catches for 11 yards at the bottom of this. And then Kamara wasn't even the leading yards gained running back on the roster, even though he did out-touch Mark Ingram 12 to Mark Ingram 7. Ingram had 27 yards. Kamara had 26. Taysom Hill had 3 carries for 10 yards. Taysom Hill caught a touchdown. Taysom Hill had 2 catches for 35 yards and a touchdown. Olave 4 for 65. Not a good day from a fantasy perspective across the board, except for maybe Rachaad White, and you could say Tom Brady did okay and Godwin did okay. Past that, very, very bland dud of a fantasy football outing. And honestly, it felt like a Thursday night game in some ways. The ending was great. Football, from a football angle only with no fantasy attached. Very, very cool ending. Very fun to see Tom Brady march down the field and win that game. And the playoff implications, the division winning implications, it's pretty fun to see Tom Brady go through what he's going through and feel for the guy. I feel for the guy. I don't wish what he's going through upon anybody. And to think the whole game, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, this poor guy, he's got nothing right now. And I mean, he's got his kids, he's probably struggling a little bit emotionally. Even if he wanted this whole thing, his off the field issue or his divorce and all that, even if he was wanting it, it was what he wanted. He was still going through a lot. You felt bad for him. Dude, fourth quarter turns it around, does GOAT things. Tom Brady's he's a baller. He's an absolute baller. Bill the Tickler was going to be the genius. Yeah, when Taysom Hill got that first touchdown, we thought Bill the Tickler was maybe onto something. I like Taysom Hill. This is why you draft Taysom Hill, or why you own Taysom Hill. You don't draft him. You picked him up. He can have these days. You can have these days where he scores you a touchdown, 2 for 35 and a touchdown, running the ball 3 times, throwing the ball 1 time. He's very active and involved. If the offense is not going to move the football down the field, if they're not going to score points, if they're not in scoring position, if they're rarely in the red zone or near the goal line, then his production won't amount to much. But if he's ultra active near the goal line, it usually means he's going to score a touchdown. He's the weapon they turn to now when they're inside the 10. He's the creative player that they want. The ball, they want the ball in his hands whenever they're near the goal line. So I love Taysom Hill. I just don't, he's going to be up and down. He's going to be inconsistent, but they may turn to him at some point to be the starting quarterback. I'm just saying, it's not a lock. It doesn't feel like it's extremely likely at this point or anything, but they may turn to him at some point to become a starting quarterback. Now, what league managements do, the apps, ESPN, Sleeper, every app that you use, Yahoo, what they do with his position eligibility, I don't know. I think it's going to be absolute madness if they strip away his tight end eligibility right away. I imagine at some point most platforms will do what ESPN did. Hopefully Yahoo doesn't. Hopefully Yahoo says, you know what? He had it all year. You all knew he had multiple position eligibility, and it's staying. No matter what. You all know you're all playing with the same advantage, the same ability to pick this man up and hold him and stash him if you want. That's on you. I hope that's what Yahoo says. I hope that's what ESPN says this year. Because if they listen to all the crybabies that say, oh, this is cheating, he's changing positions, when you know up front, this even happened in a previous season, you know up front if he does change positions and you're smart enough to roster him because you watch this show and you're in this family, you should be able to utilize that, and it's not cheating. It's not cheating. I don't care who says it's cheating. It is not cheating. Everybody knows what time it is right now. Everybody's got the same rules. Everybody knows what's going on right now. Everyone knows he's multiple position eligible in Yahoo. Everybody knows that he's a tight end right now on ESPN. And if people get out here and complain and cry and mope because they didn't have the foresight to stash him and hold him, then that's on them. And they can claim cheating and all that. It's ridiculous. Let's open the phone lines.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial into the show. Kilpatrick with a $5 holler. Kilpatrick says, we are in the playoffs, baby. What a finish. Love for Tom Brady. Rachaad White got me into the playoffs while Fournette was on the bench watching this game unfold against Kamara. He did have a decent day, decent amount of work, and I didn't like that, but Rachaad White delivered when it counted. Kilpatrick. Kilpatrick in the playoffs. You love to see it. You love to see it, Kilpatrick, especially from a dude like you. Appreciate you, my man. This $2 hauler, Rachaad White's TD got me in the playoffs. Kyle's in the playoffs because of Rachaad White. You got it. Ow! I hit my knee. You love to see it, Sam, Kyle. This one's from Michael Payne. Michael Payne says, ETN Walker, Bucks D, let me down. No playoffs for me. Just one league, right? Michael, you play more than one league, right? You got to play in more than one league. Michael, we're still sending you to the moon. And if for any reason you are out of everything, the 2023 content starts right now, Michael. We'll be talking about Dynasty. We'll be talking about 2023 content. I'll be getting you ready for the ball Cinderella. And you're going to go into 2023 like an absolute animal. So get ready. Here are the bye weeks for week number 14. If anybody's wondering who's on a bye, got a lot of guys on bye in week number 14. So it's going to be a kind of a brutal one, a low scoring affair. Get ready for a very low scoring affair in week number 14. Everybody's going to be in like the 70s, 80s, 90s, and if you're lucky in the hundreds. It's going to be a pretty rough week. Man, Tom Brady I'm still shocked. I'm still a little shocked. But let's see. Blind Larry says we're in the playoffs. 2 last-second TD for White Broski. Blind Larry in the playoffs.
Let's go, mashed potatoes.
Blind Larry. Yeah, Broski. Attaboy. Blind Larry doing big things. Who does... let's see here. Isaac. I'm in the playoffs thanks to Kamara. No thanks to Kamara, says Isaac. Isaac to the moon. Glad you're in the playoffs as well. Travis says Kamara hoping players miss time. No one really does. You just keep saying it. Haha. What are you talking about, Travis? I'm not sure. I'm lost on what you guys are even talking about. Rachaad White, what a legend, says Sharma. Appreciate you, Sharma. Glad you're in the playoffs as well. Wow, what a crazy ending. I'm excited for Tom Brady. All right, phone lines are open, guys. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Yeah, Rachaad White did good things today. 13-1 to the moon, says God is good. Nice job. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
Hello.
What's up? Hello.
Hey, I got a lineup for you. I'm headed to the playoffs.
Okay, attaboy. What can I do for you?
All right, I got Watson, Henry, Wilson, Jeff Wilson.
So Watson, Henry, Jeff Wilson. Okay.
Yep. Diggs, Devontae Smith, and then for Week 14, I've got McBride as a tight end, Godwin, and then Myers and the Cardinals D.
Godwin.
And then I got Knight on. What'd you say?
You're going a little fast. Godwin.
Yep, Godwin.
All right.
And then I've got Knight on my bench, Rachaad White, Pickens, Jameson Williams, and Hill, Taysom Hill.
You said Rachaad White, Pickens, Taysom Hill, and who else on the bench besides?
Jameson Williams.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is going to be tough between Rachaad White, Devontae Smith, and Godwin for you each week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's going to be a tough one. Although, I guess you put Rachaad White in for Jeff Wilson, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that was going to be tough for against San Francisco. How much longer do you think Knight is going to be the starting running back for the Jets?
Carter comes back. I'm sure Carter's going to command some, but I would say they may give him a shot. I don't know. It's tough to know. I mean, he's looking good. Knight's definitely going to be the number one of the top running backs to pick up for sure, because he's still available in an uncomfortable amount of leagues. So we'll be talking about that. But yeah, I think it's gonna be tough for you. Well, no, you'll put Rachaad White in instead of Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson to the bench until he proves he's going to be used properly. D. Smith, Pickens, Taysom. Yeah, you got it. You got it right. I mean, you got a good squad. You just need Henry to bounce back, bro. You need Henry to bounce back, and if that happens, you should be in a decent spot. But Diggs and Henry alone can carry you, and Rachaad White hopefully will continue. Godwin needs to be consistent, and I think he probably will be.
Should I drop one of these guys for another quarterback, like White for the Jets, or you guys you kept talking about for Baltimore, Huntley?
Oh yeah, man.
I'm worried about Watson.
I'd probably go Rachaad White, or I'm sorry, Mike White, because he feels a little more long term. But at the same time, I do like Huntley. Huntley's got a tougher matchup this week, so I'd probably go Mike White. But I do like both. Okay. I do think Huntley's like if Lamar was ruled out for the rest of the season, Huntley's a great play. He'll be on the waiver wire list as well. Bam Knight, Huntley. Well, we'll have a pretty decent list this week. A little bit better than normal heading into week 14.
Okay, man. Thanks, man.
Yeah, appreciate you. Later. Kilpatrick was on hold, and I think he bounced out of here. Kilpatrick, call back if you still want to chop it up. Phone lines are open. Dial in. Clinch 2 first place round buys.
To the moon.
Nice job, Peach. Good job. Zeke or Kamara. Can't believe we're here, but we are. Zeke is safer. It doesn't mean that it feels good. It doesn't mean it's going to be right. It's Zeke's safer at this moment, but you got to think Kamara at some point will have one of those big games on your bench, though, if you do put him on the bench for Zeke. But Zeke is scoring. He's being utilized in a decent way. You're live in the Fantasy Football Show.
Schmitty.
Yeah, what's up?
You're a legend, Beats. I just want to start off by saying that.
Thank you.
All right, you ready for my team?
Yes.
I got Burrow, Henry, Jacobs, CeeDee Lamb, DeAndre Hopkins, Mark Andrews, Jeff Wilson, Cowboys D, David Montgomery, Rachaad White, Marquise Brown, and Burks.
Okay.
So today, I made a play. I traded away Devonta Smith, Freiermuth, and Fields for Mark Andrews and Montgomery. Was that the move to make?
So you got Montgomery and Andrews for Fields, Freiermuth, and who?
Devonta Smith.
Yeah, I mean that it could. I mean, look, you got Burrow. You only need one quarterback.
And I'm currently in first place too.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. But I'm also currently in first.
You got Burrow. You only need one quarterback. I do like Fields, but you got Burrow. Burrow's the guy I'm starting. So you got to do something with that, unless you want the depth over a lineup bump. But I like the lineup bump, and I do believe in Andrews.
Okay.
I still believe in Andrews, even with Huntley in there. But yeah, I mean, Jacobs, Henry, Lamb, Hopkins, Andrews, you got a good squad. Jeff Wilson, I'd put White in there for Jeff Wilson for right now.
Yeah, I did today.
Yeah, that one's easy. Dallas is great D, man. Fantastic. I love it.
All right, thank you, Schmidt.
Yeah.
And I got one free spot to pick. Should I pick up Latavius Murray or Slayton just to hold?
There's nobody else better?
Just to hold, like insurance. I mean, Kyron Williams is still out there.
I bet there's somebody better, but I mean, I guess. Well, what did Lat Murray even do?
Yeah.
What did he do? Do you remember?
Okay.
Let me pull up his line. Hold on. 47 years. He had 17 carries though. Probably Lat Murray. He's getting the work. 2 of his last 3 games were 17 carries each. That's a lot. So I mean, but I don't love him. But at least you can maybe. He's
Just
decent.
to hold for insurance.
He's decent.
And then what do you think? Last thing, sorry, Jameson Williams.
I've been saying it for weeks. I think people need to pump the brakes on expecting anything right now. Could it happen in the final couple weeks, maybe, to where you see flashes of what's to come? But I think you gotta take it easy because they're easing him in. He's not just gonna be like,
Exactly.
It's not like he was an elite rookie that went down and is coming back. He's got to get into his rookie mode. Like he's got everything that everybody else had to go through. He's got to go through that and try and get healthy. It's a lot. So, okay, bench wide receiver that you're not considering using right now. I got a lot of like Jameson Williams or this guy last week. I'm like, you crazy?
Yeah. Too quick.
Yeah. All right, bro.
All right. Well, thanks, Schmitty.
Later, pal.
Hey, you're a beast. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Kilpatrick. What's up?
Yo, what's up, Smitty?
How'd you fare today?
Yeah, bro. I had a good day, man. Real good day. I had Fournette and Rachaad White. I went White over Fournette. It kind of hurt to watch a lot of the game, but that ending, man.
Yeah, when you saw White, every one of us, when we saw Rachaad White catch, we saw that number 29, catch the ball and then just start kind of stretching toward the field. You were like it felt like, the whole game, it felt like there's going to be nothing but disappointment. And there's just no way you were going to be blessed with a touchdown at the end of the game. There's just no way. This could be Rachaad White. First of all, Leonard Fournette's going in and out. And, you felt lucky enough that White would be in the game instead of Fournette, let alone that he was going to catch the final touchdown, game-winning touchdown, So when it happened, it was like, that was like an extra, like, wow. It was just like, Tom Brady did it. It was Rachaad White. It was like the last play. Like, that was crazy.
Absolutely insane, bro. Like, you were watching, like, the game script was totally going towards Rachaad White's, like, role. It was pass catching. He had burst, and that's what you could see. He had burst, but you saw playoff Lenny in there, like, constantly, and you're like, oh, my God. And just 8 seconds on the game clock? What was it on the last play? It was something crazy like that, and it's like, what's going to happen? And you're, like, praying for Rachaad White, and then you see him get the ball and score, and you're like, holy smokes.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro. It was exciting, that's for sure.
It was, like, extra special because this game is, like, for playoffs. Like, I have to win this game and next week to make it. And I started Jeff Wilson and ETN, and, ETN had a little bit of a down week, and Jeff Wilson, like, nobody saw that coming. It was a good defense, but, like, I kept the faith.
Yeah, it was
that touchdown.
It was a tough thing to watch them not even try to run the ball. Like, it wasn't that they failed to run the ball. The game script got out of it. It was crazy. It was great. There was a lot of craziness that happened in week number 14. But, you adjust and adapt. You win some, you lose some. It was definitely an interesting game, that Niner game. But, man, what a interesting week 14 we're going to have with all these players out right here. I mean, we got a slate of players that'll be out. So this is going to be a really disappointing in general week 14. We're going to have a lot of people feeling very down. But I think if everybody steps back and looks at the big picture, everybody's going to be hurting. So don't just inward look and be like, oh, I'm scoring 80 points or I don't have a lot of, like, everyone's feeling that way. People are going to crawl to the finish in week number 14. So I think week 15 will be a blessing. Everybody's going to feel very excited about week 15. All right, bro. Anything else?
For sure. It was crazy. Not really. Just want to say Mike White to the moon, bro.
Yeah. Mike White, man. I'm hoping they don't. He's got the locker room. They'd be crazy to stray away from him. First of all, they're not. They already said they're starting him. But I mean, like, even if he had like another loss or something, he's commanding things perfectly. He's ran for a touchdown. Back-to-back 300-yard games. Dude's doing fine. Makes Garrett Wilson a monster. All right, bro. Anything else?
That's it, bro.
All right, later, Kilpatrick. Appreciate you, man. Call back if you have another one. All right, next caller, you're live on the Fantasy Football Show. How concerned am I about Kamara, Juju, and C. Patterson? I'm concerned about all those guys. I still believe in Kamara enough based on what I know he can do with the right game script and stuff. But like, am I putting him in a flex spot? I was call back if you have another. That caller was on hold. Call back if you still want to be on the show. I'm concerned. Like, but do I put Kamara on a flex? It depends on your options. You know, I probably still flex him. I don't think I can sit him. I'd still flex him, but it depends. You could have a loaded team and yeah, put him on the bench. We had a Kamara or Zeke question, and honestly, it was easy to answer that last week. I don't know about it anymore. You're live on the show. What can I help you with?
So, Smitty.
What's up?
So, I got playoffs next week. It's going to be like a 12-team playoff thing. We're doing like a cross-league thing. It's going to be like off the platform.
Okay.
But I've got a quarterback question. PPR, I'm split between Herbert, Fields, and Dak Prescott. I currently have Herbert and Fields on my roster. I started Herbert this past week, but I'm really just trying to go for the most upside. But
Yeah,
I know.
If it's me, I mean, he's on a yeah. I mean, if it's me, he's on a bye this week. But
Yeah,
it would
but
be.
I'm sorry, it'll be for week 15.
Yeah.
I got a week 14 bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So week 15, yeah, I'm gonna go Fields if it's me, but maybe maybe Herb's kind of makes that a more difficult, decision coming out of week number 14. So Herb's gets to kind of prove to you whether it's gonna be Fields or not. It's kind of Fields' job to lose in my mind.
That makes sense.
Because I mean that he was playing hurt. I'm sure he was hurt still, even though he was off the injury report and all that. We don't believe the injury reports anymore. But the fact that he scrambled for that touchdown just showed the ability. It would be Fields for me. But Herbert could change my mind. Like, let's readdress this. We certainly can't lock it in when Herbert's got yet another game to prove himself. So let's wait and see. But for now, I guess Fields.
Yeah, I know they got. I think Herbert's got Tennessee, and Fields has got Philadelphia. But I noticed that he usually plays better against the tougher defenses.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at the week 4. Yeah, I don't know. That might be tough. That might be a Herbert game. Let's play it by ear. I haven't looked that far ahead, to be honest with you, off the top of my head. Let's play it week by week. But definitely you got some good options. You'll make the right call. I think you'll know what to do. Maybe Fields struggle
or how Herbert does this weekend.
Maybe Fields struggles with the shoulder again, or it pops back up, and you just be like, okay, Herbert did amazing in week 14. Even with rest, we're still worried about Fields, and then you're like, I'm just gonna put Herbert in. So yeah, Philly is always a tough matchup. That is who they play week 15, right? Let me go to the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that does make it a lot tougher call.
I've also got Dak Prescott on waivers, but I mean, he's like the third option.
And who's Dallas playing in week 15? They're playing.
They play Jacksonville.
Yeah.
The only thing I worry about is that the running game is so good, and on that the game can get away from Dak having to throw, and he hasn't really been the best passer this year. I noticed.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Philly can be scored. They can be scored on, but they're definitely tough.
Yeah.
And sometimes you think, oh, Tennessee, it's going to be a cakewalk for Herbert, and then Herbert doesn't. It's like 10-3 at halftime, and you're like, what? So I don't know. So I let schedule influence me a lot. I do, but sometimes I feel like when things aren't crazy, like when you're not facing. So it'd be like the San Francisco defense, for example. If you're not facing San Francisco, like San Francisco would make me want to shut Fields down in that game and be like, okay, because they're so on point right now. But like the Eagles, I don't know. We'll have to play it by ear. I love them from a fantasy perspective, but they're a little bit easier to move the ball on. In week 15, Kenneth Walker plays the Niners. So we'll have to see how healthy he is and everything. That's a brutal matchup, and it's Thursday night. On top of that, so
That's true.
That's a dreadful thing to look at right now. 2 weeks out.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
Appreciate it.
Yep, later.
That was it. Thank you.
All right, next caller, you're live. You're up.
Smitty.
What's up?
Smitty, is that me?
Yeah, it's you.
Hey. It's SK from Orchard Park, brother.
You're a little quiet. SK, what's up, my man? Appreciate you calling in.
Nothing much. Yeah, first time calling in. So that last caller had me thinking about Walker. I'm glad for week 15 I'm in a lucky position where I should have a bye in both of those. But the reason I'm calling is to get that bye. I need to win this week with one of my leagues with Lamar out. That's what cost me the win. I would have gotten that win and got that bye, but with him out, I got Huntley. I've kept him the whole time because I had Lamar last year and the same thing happened. But I also have Deshaun Watson, of course. So I got to play Huntley against Pittsburgh with a must-win this week to get the bye. What do you think?
Huntley or name all the options you got. Huntley
and Deshaun Watson. They're on my team. Everyone else I'd have to go get off waivers. There's nothing there.
Okay.
It's a 12-team competitive, so there's nothing there.
Yeah.
It's not a super flex. It's just one guy. But I got to get Huntley. I mean, against Pittsburgh, and he looked efficient, even though he's just not going to throw the ball down the field too much. Watson scared me. That was awful. Even though he's got Cincinnati though, so it could be a shootout.
Yeah, I don't know. That one's tough. Because it isn't the easiest matchup for Huntley. But I would say probably lean toward Huntley. He went 27-32, and he could run the ball like Lamar. So these kind of matchup proof in a way, because game script he'll still be balling out. He'll still be running a lot. I guess I would go Huntley, but Pittsburgh's not the easiest matchup, but I probably would go Huntley.
And just one other thing, because you comment on it all the time with Shanahan and my Niners. Even though I live in Orchard Park in Bills country, I'm a Niner guy. What are they going to do, man? What are they going to do? Is it Purdy or is it what are they going to do?
Is it what? Purdy or what?
Baker, Cam.
No, Purdy earned it. Purdy earned it. They won. Purdy looked good. He had 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had a pick, sure, but no, like they wouldn't. They're not even considering another option. Like it's not even a. There's nothing. Like if Baker got signed, he'd be practice squad. He'd have to fight for the number 2 spot. Like there is no. It's weird. Like and it's fine for you to ask this because you're hearing it everywhere. So that's why I think you're. But so many people are talking about like what are the options, as if there's any options. They're going with Purdy. He knows the offense. He was efficient. He looked good. Things got better. I don't know why. I get a lot of like skull emojis and laughing emojis and like, are you crazy? What are you smoking comments? But Purdy's better than Jimmy G. Like this is an upgrade. Like this part that makes me laugh when people get really upset about that comment is like he is an upgrade. He's got a better arm. He was composed in
upgrade, but an upgrade though in terms of game management, I don't see him as an upgrade for Debo and Ayuk and Kittle. Not at all.
Really?
I disagree with that, brother.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
Jimmy's not great, right? Like that's terrible. I've never really loved Jimmy G other than the game manager, and he has been great the last few weeks. But you're talking about a rookie quarterback going up against Brady this week and all the playoff games. I really worry about Debo now on my teams and Ayuk on my teams, PPR teams especially.
I think they all got a bump, bro. They all got a bump.
Wonderful.
I think Purdy's better across the board. I don't think Jimmy G's better than Purdy. Like he has more experience for what? Choking? Like this guy's a turnover machine. Jimmy G. I know he's done fairly well this year, but it's because you've given him Christian McCaffrey. If Christian McCaffrey wasn't acquired, which I give kudos to the Niners staff, you'd be looking at Jimmy G crumbling the last couple weeks. You wouldn't see the Niners winning those games. Christian McCaffrey was leaned upon. Christian McCaffrey's been glue for this team and has kept the defense good. The defense, remember when the offense couldn't score a touchdown? and the defense got broken down, and you didn't. You what?
They lost to Russell Wilson, for God's sake.
Yeah,
Right,
the defense
offense was
defense wasn't the same because you guys couldn't score points. They got tired. They were getting injured. Brock Purdy came in and already was slinging the ball more than Jimmy G could, and it was weird because Shanahan, I would think, would control him and contain him, but he let him throw. Purdy looked poised, and I don't want to say like he's going to lead him to a Super Bowl because I'm not. First of all, I'm not a Niner fan. But we've seen inexperienced quarterbacks come in and surprise right away, and I don't want to throw around names to make people like think I'm trying to compare them. So understand, I'm not comparing him to Kurt Warner. I'm not comparing him to Tom Brady. I'm not comparing him to Russell Wilson. Becoming who he is now. Dak Prescott. These are all guys that came in with no experience at all and did well right away, like right away. And so if you tell me there's a scenario where a guy can even be a sliver of that, being capable of doing something right away, it would be a player that's inserted into an offense with Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, top 1 or 2 or 3, depending on what side of the defense you're looking at. Just overall number 1 defense in the entire NFL. This guy is inserted into the best situation humanly possible. So and again, what did you notice about this offense? And I know it was a good matchup, it was a good scenario. He came in, there was no film on him, defenses haven't prepared for him, but at the same time, this guy's going against the best defense in the NFL in practice. Like, Purdy's going to get a crash course, and he's going to start practicing as the starting quarterback, which is going to allow him to learn the offense better. For a guy with as complex of a system and scheme as Kyle Shanahan's scheme is, it's amazing what Purdy did. It wasn't just good. What Purdy did coming in as a guy that was not prepared to start, and what he did and how he did it and how diverse his game was it was amazing. It was nothing short of amazing. And I think he's going to get Deebo more involved. I think this will, in turn, have Shanahan lean on Deebo more. What?
Yeah, but Deebo had 10 targets. That was impressive. To your point, that was impressive.
Yeah. So what would make?
Yeah,
what would make you think that he'd be less involved with Purdy though, if he already showed that he was more involved? I wouldn't worry about it, man.
Because defensive coordinators had a chance to, and thought about him coming in the game and looked at his limitations, height advantage, or disadvantage, I should say, and just experience. Again, look, your points on fantasy are well taken. That's why I call you. That's why I contribute. That's why you're great on that. But I don't think our chances, the 49ers' chances of winning a Super Bowl are very high. That kid's not going into Dallas and doing what they did last year.
Here's the
going
problem.
Into Philadelphia.
But here's what I'll say, and when I say this, people take it the wrong way. I don't think your chances of winning Super Bowl are extremely high either, but they were lesser with Jimmy G. I know everyone seems to think Jimmy was going to fix his issues going into I don't think Jimmy G was going to take you to the promised land. I think Brock Purdy's better on every level, and I don't think Jimmy's his decision making.
Jimmy for the Super Bowl. I don't blame Jimmy for losing the Super Bowl when they're up by 10 points, or for blowing it last year against the Rams when they're up by 10 points. Those are Shanahan specials in play calling. That's what he does. He blows leads because he gets conservative. He didn't yesterday, and that was impressive.
Yeah, the combination of it all is key, but I just think that he's not looking over his shoulder. They're not going to bring Baker, even if they brought Baker in or whatever to sit on the practice squad or whatever. He's not worried about Baker. Baker's taking no one's job. He's got nothing to worry about. He's not looking over his shoulder. And what I said on the Niner live streams over and over and over for the past 2 or 3 weeks when I've gone on there and got blasted for it, is that the Niners need to have Purdy in the lineup because, in my opinion, you guys need to, from a 2023 perspective, you need to have somebody with experience. If Jimmy G's not on the roster, which I fear that you guys are going to keep Jimmy G anyway, somehow, some way, Kyle Shanahan's going to screw this up and bring him back. But if you don't test out Purdy, guess what you walk into 2023 with? Your backup quarterback has no experience. Your starting quarterback still has no experience in Trey Lance. Now at least you get to walk in with Purdy getting all this experience and volume. And not only will you have that ability to lean on him and know what you're getting if you ever have to, if let's say Trey got hurt again, if Trey's even the guy. And then on top of that, you'll know whether he might be the guy himself. Maybe Purdy's starting 2023 because he's so good in 2020. That happens all the time. Not all the time, but it happens more frequently than people like to pretend it does. There's always a rising quarterback that comes in like this and takes a job.
That would be nuts. You're talking about Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, but we're also talking about I don't know if Peters had anything to do with this pick. I'm sure he did. You guys draft the best late round players around. Kittle, you always land these picks. And when it happened, when this pick went down, he was the last pick in the NFL draft, Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy. We joked around about it, but I was like, seriously, guys, like, you guys are very good. When I was talking on the Niner shows, you guys are really good at this scouting late in the draft. It wouldn't surprise me if this kid had way more talent than anybody thought he did. And so for weeks, I've been pushing, like, especially when, McCaffrey wasn't acquired and the Niners, it was looking a little more grim again. It was like, you guys got to put him out there. You got to put him out there to see, because Jimmy G's not going to win you a Super Bowl. You're going to go through the motions of wasting an opportunity to get Brock Purdy ready in case he needs to be either the backup that has experience, or he ends up being the starter, or you find out he's crap. And then he's not the backup. You need to go get a better backup for next year, because you're going to walk in with Trey Lance not knowing what's going to happen, especially if you bring Jimmy G back.
Back to the original question, and I don't mean to monopolize, especially for your listeners. Are you playing Purdy or Mike White against the Bills, or Purdy against the Bucks over someone like Huntley?
I'm starting Mike White. I do like Huntley a lot. I'm not starting Purdy.
Right.
Like, this is not a fantasy take on the Brock Purdy. And I'm not saying Brock Purdy is the guy. I'm not saying he's the next, Tom Brady or Kurt Warner or anything crazy like that. All I'm saying is people need to give him a shot. And the fact that he looks so good being thrown to the wolves in a very complex scheme with lots of moving parts and did so well in a very high pressure situation where it was like, teacher versus student, Mike McDaniel's, it was crazy. It was crazy. The fact that Brock Purdy did what he did and stayed composed and looked really good doing it, it has me encouraged that things are going up for the Niners, not down. Doesn't mean you win a Super Bowl, because what's going to happen is he's not going to have playoff experience. He's going to go into the playoffs, and he's going to make a lot of mistakes because it's a different kind of pressure. There's no like, oh, we'll go ahead and we'll come back next week. It's different. And so you're going to have two things going against you with Brock Purdy in there that you still would have had with Jimmy G, and you weren't going to do anything with Jimmy G. I'm telling you. You wouldn't have, not only that, he wouldn't have stayed healthy. Look, he's already out. He can't stay healthy. He can't. So you would have got into the first week, he would have went down, and guess what? Brock Purdy wouldn't have been matured and ready to go. This is a blessing in disguise for you, because you have multiple weeks now to get Brock Purdy's butterflies out of his system and to fine tune him a little bit and then march into the playoffs. Jimmy would have left you hanging at some point between now, because he can't stay healthy. He can't stay healthy. I don't care how. I know a lot of people like to act like there's a lot of freak injuries and they would have happened. He can't stay healthy. So Brock Purdy, the problem you're going to have, though, that you would have with Jimmy anyway, is that he's going to either make a lot of mistakes, which Jimmy would have made, or you're going to have Shanahan not calling the right plays because he's holding him back, and he's trying to navigate this and protect the lead and change his play calling, and Shanahan's going to blow it. I don't know. Or your defense is just so good you beat everybody. There's that option. Like, you literally could Shanahan could be taken out of play because your defense could be so good that you have this lead, and then even when you mess up on play calling, your defense scores a pick six, or you just keep shutting. I mean, that defense is crazy good. It's crazy good, man.
Okay.
If it stays
You mean
healthy.
like the Ravens.
You what?
Well, good stuff, brother. I was just gonna say, you mean like the Ravens when they won without a quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, Trent Dilfer wasn't an amazing quarterback. If anybody thinks Brock Purdy's miles away from Trent Dilfer, talent-wise, when Dilfer won a Super Bowl, it was defense.
I think that was your point.
Yeah, defense can win a Super Bowl. The question is, will Shanahan allow Brock Purdy to be Brock Purdy, or will he just try and screw with the play calling? I don't know.
CMC to the moon, brother. Thank you. Great stuff.
All right, later, pal. Okay, next caller. What's up?
Is that me?
Yeah, it's you.
Hey, what's up, Smitty? Hey, I just had a question for next week. If it's not too early for that. So I have Nick. My running backs are Nick Chubb, Travis Etienne, Damian Pierce, and
Nick Chubb.
And
say it again. Nick Chubb.
Etienne. Yeah, Nick Chubb, Travis Etienne, Damian Pierce, and Rachaad White.
Okay.
So Rachaad White plays San Francisco next week. Damian Pierce plays Dallas. Etienne plays Tennessee. I think I just obviously got to start Nick Chubb, even though he didn't look great last week with Deshaun there.
Yeah, but, you can't bench Nick Chubb, man.
Yeah, I know. So I'm just I want to just choose Etienne. I haven't watched him much in the last couple of weeks, but just wondering what you've seen from him, and is he a confident start over, Rachaad White in San Francisco?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going Etienne and Chubb without hesitation. Number one, let me see if I can find this. I believe it's right here. Etienne, he was played on 88% of the snaps, bro. So it's not like he's getting zoomed out, phased out of the game plan or something. He just wasn't utilized properly, and I just don't think you can, especially against the Niners, you can put Rachaad White in over him when I probably will want to start Etienne anyway over him. I'm not saying don't find a way to put Rachaad in your flex, but it depends if you have something more solid or maybe you don't even have a flex. But Etienne, I think you got to start him. The matchup, everything. I mean, you just can't sit him. It's a bad game script. It was bad everything, but it is what it is. I mean, he's still very talented. I don't think you can discard everything he's done based on two games, one of which he got injured, and he didn't have a chance to come in and improve himself. So it's really he's only busted one game and disappointed. I wouldn't say busted, but disappointed. Because he got hurt, but he didn't fail that game when he was on the field. He just couldn't go back on. He tried. He put his helmet on. He wanted to go back on the field. 88% of the snaps, I'm putting Etienne in. I'm not even questioning it. Those are your top two guys are your starters. It's no debate at all.
Okay, yeah, because it's the two games he got 24 and 28 carries. He absolutely exploded. Is that a game script thing? Because those are the only two times he's gotten that many touches. And he's exploded, but it seems like he's.
I mean, they're probably trying to be cautious with him. Again, and then the game script got away from him, and it was a combination. I don't think there's one specific thing that led to Etienne not getting enough work, but I think if they're smart, I hope they are. They'll look at the film, they'll look at everything, and they'll say, look, we do really well when Etienne's getting the football. Let's give Etienne the football, and I'm sure there's more than one person that's in charge of speaking out about that. One would be Trevor Lawrence, who played college football with him, knows him very well, and I think he's probably going to have something to say about that. We need to get the ball into our playmakers' hands. When we get the ball into Etienne's hands, we need to throw to him. We need to run him. We need to utilize him all over the field. He's a weapon.
Okay, and one more question. I'm not playing till week 16 because I got the first round bye secured. But just thinking of playoff defense, I know the Titans are playing the Houston Texans, who have just been giving defenses so many points lately. So I was wondering if you would suggest maybe dropping one of my deep bench players and picking up, securing that playoff like defense against the Texans for Week 16, I would drop either Cordero Patterson, A.J. Dillon, or Drake London as my like deep bench players.
Yeah, but who's your defense? Like, who would you be sitting in that week?
The Bucks.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that. I guess London or Patterson. I mean, I like London, but his situation's, you know, it's tough, man.
What's upside?
Let's see. What did London even finish with this week?
He had a pretty good week.
Yeah, he did okay.
Fantasy-wise.
He did good. He had he finished with 95 yards. You got to hold on to him. Hopefully he starts getting going. He had 12 targets.
So maybe drop Patterson?
Yeah, probably drop Patterson. I suppose. Yeah, London's 6 of 12 targets though. That's just Mariota. It's dreadful. It's dreadful.
Yeah.
That's a great line though.
Story
But
of the year.
12 targets. 12 targets is crazy, but to only catch 6 of them, it's not. I can assure you, it's not London's fault. Yeah, don't drop him. He could get going. He could get going. $50 hauler from S. Hold on. $50 hauler. $50 hauler. Out of Broski. Awesome chat. You work very hard and keep it real. Thank you, SKS. Appreciate you, my guy. Beast. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, no. Yeah, I was just saying with those 4 running backs I have, I doubt I'll use Patterson anyways. So I think I'm going to do that. Last one was, do you think you should drop Trevor Lawrence for the upside of Huntley as like a backup quarterback, or do you think you just keep Trevor Lawrence?
For 1 week, yeah, but then what happens if Lamar comes back and then you don't have a backup quarterback and he gets scooped up, you know?
Oh, yeah, he's not out for the season, huh?
Not yet. If he was, I would say Huntley. But I think Trevor Lawrence is still very good. We're 1 week removed of everybody loving Trevor Lawrence. Now everybody's
Trevor Lawrence.
Now everybody's like scared of him after 1 week. So I like Trevor Lawrence. I wouldn't cut him.
Yeah, he has a great playoff schedule too. All right, Smitty. Thank
All right,
you
bro.
so much. You're the GOAT.
All right, appreciate you, man. Later.
All right.
SKS dropping the 50 wad. SKS to the moon.
To the moon.
Straight to it. Straight to the moon. All right, next caller. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show.
Yeah, I like Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, everybody's like,
Hey, is this Smitty?
Hello? You got the wrong number, sonny boy.
I'm sorry. I didn't expect to go live right away.
What's up, bro?
It was a wait time or something. I have a couple questions for you. Hold on, let me pull up my fantasy. First of all, love the show.
Show loves you.
Said that. So, I'm doing pretty well right now. I'm in second place, 9-3 in the fantasy out of 10 teams. But I do have Lamar Jackson, and he went down. I was thinking of trying to pick up Huntley, or maybe Kirk Cousins is also available.
I
wanted to know what your.
I think you need Huntley, bro. Because you know what I mean, like, because that's a really nice combination for you. Like, you know what you're gonna be. Look, like, what if you pick up Cousins and Cousins goes down? You know what I mean? Like, this is secure. I like that. When you head into the final 4 or 5 weeks, I like doing this kind of thing when it's possible. And it's very rare to where you have like a backup that's as good as a starter, and they're both potentially top 6 plays. You know, I think Huntley could be that good on any given Sunday. He may not, but I like that because Cousins is okay. He's safe, but I think Huntley's as good. So I pick up Huntley.
All right, thank you for that. One other question, really quickly. For wide receivers, I'm doing real nice. I got Adams, I got Cooper, I got Allen, and I got Hopkins. So I got to bench one of them, sadly. But my running back situation is not quite as nice, especially for Week 14. I'm playing the guy in first, and whoever wins is going to be first seed going into the playoffs. So next week, all my guys are on bye. I have Aaron Jones and Kamara on bye. Those were kind of my two guys. I have Swift. I traded for him after I saw one of your videos. He did well last week. I'm going to put him in there. I also got Donovan Knight.
That's good.
I was thinking of him as RB2. Or maybe, what about Jeff Wilson Jr.? I'm worried about after last week, though.
Yeah, I'm worried too. He's really good, but like now with we don't know what the deal is with Mostert and him. I think you could like live to regret benching him, but at the same time, Knight's steady enough that I'd plug Knight in as long as Knight doesn't get benched, and we'll find out more this week what we're looking at in terms of. I think Carter's out for a little while longer, so it should be okay. But we'll find out.
I also got Dobbins on the IR. If he's coming back without Lamar.
Not a first week out. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely Knight and Swift. Those are two really good running backs considering your dilemma. Might be a blessing in disguise.
Okay.
The way Kamara's playing and the way Aaron Jones can play, maybe these are your two best options anyway in this week, and to have the other guys forced to be out maybe ends up being a blessing in disguise for you.
Maybe.
I like it, bro. All right, man. Later.
All right.
SKS, appreciate you again, my guy. Thank you for the super chat. Swift or Rachaad White? With the matchup for Rachaad White, you got to go Swift. Plus, Swift is back, bro. Swift to the moon. Smitty
You've just been Smitty approved.
Totally Smitty approved Swift. How concerned are you about? I think I answered this one. I'm concerned about Kamara enough that he's a flex right now. Do I still start him unless I'm like stacked? If I'm stacked, of course I would, depending on your option. But would I put Kamara on the bench for like Akers? No. Would I put him on the bench for? I don't know. Give me a dilemma. One that you think I might struggle with. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show.
Hey, Smitty, what's going on?
What's up?
Hey, man. So I'm wondering because I have two pretty decent running backs. I have ETN and JT.
Uh-huh.
And what's the like going forward now with these teams being so bad? Like, are they still playable? I mean, obviously they're playable, but like, what happens? Are they going to get enough snaps? Are they going to be utilized differently, game script and all? So
I wish I could tell you I felt good about where these two stand right now, but I don't. I mean, I'm just being real. I do feel like the 80, close to, I think it was 88% of the workload. Where is that graphic? Yeah, here it is. 88% of the snaps in the Jaguars Week 13 game went to ETN. And so that gives me enough, like, I feel good enough about the fact that he's not like phased out or anything. This isn't a situation where he was like bumped out. It was just it was a bad game script, bad everything. JT, he's getting all the volume too. So like volume wise, no concern, but like team, scoring opportunities. Could I see him with like 78 yards and no touchdowns and like 2 catches for 12 yards, and then we just see him produce this stat line like 2 out of the next 3 weeks? Like, that concerns me. I am concerned about that. It's so quick, so funny how he was like top 5 and then now he's not. And then Christian McCaffrey was number 1, and then he hit a little bit of a concern, a week of concern. The week before this week, people were like, I don't know if I feel like McCaffrey's top 5 anymore. And now McCaffrey's back to being like everyone's number 1, number 2. It's like this, man. I don't know. I'm not feeling good about where the Colts are at right now, but I think that their goal is going to be each week to get back to the run. I just think they simplified things too much, and defenses are figuring them out very easily, and that's why Ryan's getting picked off, because it's not they got to get more complex with everything, and they got to run the ball better. So your option, I mean, I know you're just kind of you want to get a feel for what these guys are going to do. You don't have any trade options, I'm sure. You can't trade, right?
Yeah, the trade deadline was like last week, so.
Yeah. I mean, hold your breath, bro. Hold your breath.
I'm in a 16-team league right now, so I just drafted well, and I had JT on the bench most of the year, obviously, and then he came back, and then I was able to trade for ETN from Melvin Gordon, 5-6 weeks ago. So I just kind of lucked out with these guys, but I'm just wondering, they're gonna kind of phase them out because of their records or anything like that, right? Because that's what I'm worried about. That not like I have a choice because my record's pretty good. I'm 10-3, and so I'm pushing forward. I just want to know. I have Jalen Warren and McKinnon on the bench, and McKinnon did all right, but he's kind of inconsistent. So and these guys aren't even in the same league as JT and ETN. So
yeah,
I'm just wondering if I'm going to be strong. If these guys are going to keep getting the ball.
I don't know, bro. It sounds like they're going to get the ball. It's just a matter of the opportunities, the touchdown opportunities, the good plays, the efficiency. We don't know. But nothing you could do about it. You got two really good running backs in there. In a 16-teamer, bro, you have a really good set of running backs. So I wouldn't worry about it. Let it ride.
All right.
Awesome, all right, bro.
Man. Appreciate it. Love this stuff.
Yep, appreciate you. Later. Peanut Butter, appreciate you. Please take a quick moment to support our guy. Hit the thumb up button. Appreciate you. Trent says, bro told me to start Kamara over Pacheco and lost me my playoff spot. Well, you got to make your own decisions, bro. I even tell you guys all the time, I'm going to get maybe on the best day of my life, 70%, 75% on the best day of my life of these close call, near 50-50 questions. So if your gut tells you that you should start Pacheco over Kamara, and I tell you to start Kamara, you better not change your mind if your gut's screaming it. Clearly your gut wasn't screaming it either, bro. We both picked Kamara because you picked Kamara. I'm not going to convince you to undo what your gut's telling you. I'm sorry that my call was wrong. I always apologize. And I know a lot of people say I don't need to apologize. It's your decision, all that. But bro, you and I both came to this conclusion because if you had a different opinion, it would have strayed you. It is what it is. Kamara is hard to bench. Kamara could have just as easily went out and had 3 touchdowns, and you would have said, "This guy told me to start Pacheco over," and it lost me my. Pacheco is great, but he was more shaky than Kamara volume wise walking into this game. And honestly, the same thing could be said next week. It's just a matter of Pacheco's scoring and in good position by the end of the game because his offense is in good scoring position. They set him up to succeed with a very low amount of volume. But I mean, no one can predict these things even 8 times out of 10 when you're talking about Kamara versus Pacheco. Very, very, very tough call. And even in retrospect, in hindsight, it was a tough call. It was probably the right decision to start Alvin Kamara, in my opinion. It didn't work out. That's the nature of fantasy football. But I certainly can't. Oh, he's joking. He's 11 okay. Well, how do I know you're joking, bro? So he's 11-2. Take a lap from wasting my breath. And appreciate you anyway. Kamara will have 3 TD games soon. I think what happens is Trent needs to really bench him so he can have a 3 TD game for the rest of the people that own him. I don't really own Kamara. I think I might have him in one league. I don't know. Somewhere. I put 212 this week. Nice job, Life. Nice job. All right, hit the phone line.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Casey, what's up? What's up, Rashid? What's going on? Mitch, Logan, iLife, or One Life, Broken Virtues. Appreciate you all being here. I appreciate you too, Trent. I appreciate you now. I did a minute ago. How many leagues are you in? I'm just kidding. I would have appreciated. I don't care. I have thick skin. People think I have thick skin, or I have thin skin, but I have thick skin. I'll push back on people You know what I mean? Doesn't mean that it bothers me. It's part of it. Part of it's the content, bro. You know, this is how we roll over here. Watson, how many leagues am I in? Like, I don't know. I try and cut back, not including like best balls and things. I mean at least like, I don't think it's 20, but we're up there. I need to cut back. 95 likes. Yeah, what's going on with that? We have 251 of you in here and 96 thumbs up. 96 thumbs up. We can pump those rookie numbers up. Punch it, please. Help your boy Smitty out. In a true nail-biter fashion, I need a couple of different things to happen in order to slip into the last playoff spot. I hope you get it done, bro. I hope you get it done. We won't be here too much longer, but the phone lines will be open until we close the doors. Bro, can we talk about Rachaad White real quick? We've been talking about Rachaad White. We wish he got more carries. He's getting very much Tony Pollard, which is good when you get Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard-id. Because you're getting efficiency, right? You're getting 10, 12 carries. What did Rachaad White get? Not even 10 carries, right? What did he end up with? What was it? 6 for 40, whatever, and a touchdown. Very nice day for Rachaad White and PPR. Very, very nice day. Get Smitty. Get Smutty. Get Smutty to 200 thumbs up. Hit the like for Smutty, people. Love Rachaad White. Love Rachaad White. Send you a like and we'll send you a paid question Friday for the trolling. Thanks, Trent. All right, let me see if there's any other. I think we're caught up on the super chats. I think we got all the questions pretty much. Let's go speed round real quickly.
It is time for the speed question and answer segment.
We are only doing fast questions, no paragraphs, one-liners, and I'm not going to be able to get them all, so don't think I'm trying to skip you on purpose. There's going to be a lot of questions being tossed out. We got 256 of you, only 114 thumbs up. Please hit that thumb up button. Let's go. Keep them short. Keep them quick. Don't repeat over and over and over and over and over like 8 times in a row, or I'll skip your question entirely. Let's go. Let's roll. First question. They're going to come flying in because there's about a 10-15 second delay here. Here we go. Here we go. White or Huntley? Probably Mike White for the time being. Rachaad White or Jeff Wilson? Rachaad White. Only people on speed can ask on speed. No. What do you think Amari Cooper ends the rest of the season? Probably outside the top 15 now. I just don't like him right now with Watson. Mike White, week 15 versus Detroit, or Tua versus Buffalo. Let's play that by ear. That's a long ways away, bro. Start Godwin or Garrett Wilson. Start Garrett Wilson, I think, bro. I'm starting Garrett Wilson. This is the best fantasy show. That's correct. Trade Rachaad White for Andrews. I like both of them. If you need a tight end, that's not a bad move. If you need a running back on the other side, that's not a bad move either. I mean, it's great. Both sides are great. Pacheco or Wilson, Jr. Pacheco. Huntley or Brady, week 14. I'm gonna go Huntley, my guy. Mahomes or Burrow. I'm gonna go. Let's keep this one on the screen and analyze that one. That's a really good one. Top 5 worst offenses to pick in fantasy playoffs. We'll take care of the fantasy playoff questions in a bit. This one's a super chat. Hot take. Tinder killed Jimmy G's potential. Okay, thank you, Caesar. Appreciate your super chat. Foreman, Mostert, or Michael Carter. Probably Foreman at the moment, but he is questionable. We got to play that by ear. James Cook season, maybe. Mike White, or is this, what is this? Rachaad White, Myers, or Akers at the flex? If that's Rachaad White, it's Rachaad White. Like, what are you asking here? Top wide receiver add. look for that video tomorrow. We'll be breaking it down. I got to dig into everything. I don't want to mislead you right now. Rachaad White or Jamal? Jamal's maybe safer, bro, but I like Rachaad White a lot. Favorite alcoholic beverage? I don't really drink too much, bro. I guess I don't know, bro. I don't really drink too much anymore. I used to drink like Coronas a lot if I ever had a beer, but I don't really drink much at all anymore. I just work, bro. Am I going to win my league? I don't know, Joe. I'm gonna say yes, Joe. I think so. Odell or Donovan Peoples-Jones? Probably Donovan Peoples-Jones because Odell's not playing, and who knows when he'll be back. Drop Deshaun Watson, depends on your option. Wilson or Pacheco? Oh, I got rid of that question I was trying to keep. I think it was Mahomes or Burrow. I'll try and remember that one. Wilson, Pacheco, or White? I'm going with probably Pacheco. I don't know. Pacheco and White are both very, very close. I'd probably go Pacheco for now, but they're very, very close. Brian says, Smitty told me to start Kamara and Elijah over Lazard this week, both L's. I think Brian's trying to do a double troll. Kamara or Pacheco. Pacheco's safer at this point, but it is hard to sit Kamara and not find a place to start him. Cowboys or Eagles? Cowboys. Cowboys are always the answer. They're absolute monsters. They just score fantasy freaking points, man. Swift back as a captain of the Moon Men. I wouldn't say captain yet, but he's definitely back in our good graces, and I think that he could definitely be a potential low-end running back one going forward. Can I get ice cold Mexican Coca-Cola? They're all sitting there in the fridge, man. I haven't had one in over a week. They're just sitting there, and I look at them every time I open the fridge, and it drives me nuts because I haven't had a soda in over 7 days at least. Pickens, Hollins, or Gus Edwards in the flex. Probably say Pickens, even though he disappointed very, very much in week number 13. Trade Rachaad for Andrews, like I said earlier. It's good on both sides. Mahomes or Burrow? That was the question. Let me see if I can get that on screen here. Let me put that right here, so we can attack that. Better week to stream. Better to stream week to week or stick with one. I don't know. It depends on the kicker you get, bro. Like streaming's okay if you're good at it and if you have time for it. If you don't have time for it, you're gonna botch it. Like, I don't have time to stream kickers. I have too many leagues. I'm live all the time. I barely can set a lot of my lineups. So for someone like me, I can't stream kickers. That would be too time consuming for me. Evans or White against the 49ers? You probably got to... This is so tough. We're going to have to attack this one later, but I don't know what's going on with Evans. The run is brutal. To try and start a player against that 49ers run defenses. So I lean like Evans, even though Evans did absolutely nothing this game. But we're going to have to reassess this one or readdress it later. You know, will Rachaad White get enough work being thrown his way? Because that's really where his bread and butter is right now. Is 6 catches, you know, the 40 yards and a touchdown. He caught the touchdown that won the game. So it's more about, like, can he survive against the 49ers offense with check downs and such. I guess maybe we lean Rachaad White for now and we reassess our confidence level on Evans. Maybe we hear something that explains it and then we're out on Evans. We're like, okay, he's banged up right now. It's a real tough one. That is a really, really tough one. I'm out of here. I appreciate every single one of you. As far as the Burrow Mahomes question, that's we're talking week 14, I assume, right? So you've got the Chiefs on the road, but in Denver, and then you've got the Bengals. Are they at home or are they away? I forget. I think they're home. The Browns. I'm going Joe Burrow. But man, that could backfire. I mean, those are how do you even have that option? You better not actually have that option. Because you have no business owning both of these quarterbacks and not have made a trade at some point before your trade deadline. That's ridiculous. Joe says, to the moon. Joe, you to the moon, pal. Everyone, you to the moon. I work for you. I'm live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Every single Monday through Friday. I'm live whenever news breaks. I'm also live Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at midnight Eastern. Thank you all for the super chats. Thank you, SKS, for the $50 holler. Thank you, Caesar. Thank you, R. Gravy. Thank you, Michael Payne. Thank you, Kyle Woods. And thank you, Kilpatrick, for the super chats tonight. You guys absolutely rock. I will be back tomorrow. I'm live whenever news breaks, so if news breaks, I will be live. Please hit the thumb up button on the way out the door. Only 120 of you out of 242 currently watching have punched the thumb up button. So please hit that button on the way out the door. Your boy's live, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm here for you. I work for you. Later.